two, three, let's go.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Adjacent with Jace, the tabletop interview and review show for the Adventures in Athoria, brought to you by the Black Tower Stories. I am your host, Jace. And with me today, taking on fights barehanded, racking up stats as each landed, better ad-libbing off whatever the plan did, keeping the conversations light and candid. He's a monk that sailed on the sea with land legs strong as ash tree. He's got our backs with a flurry of attacks because we're a party that is a must-see. Hi, Ari.
Hello. That was a good one. There was a lot of stuff that happened really quickly that I didn't catch, but I'm gonna go back and watch this once it's posted and figure out if there was any backhanded comments in there.
I leave it backhanded. I leave the backhanding to you because you have unarmed attacks. So that's all you.
No, we keep it casual.
Some can. I don't know. Yeah, I got it well done. I did that in one breath too.
That was impressive.
I was worried. If I stopped, I was going to fuck up. Also, I've been eating wasabi peas, which makes my tongue swell on the side, so I gotta be careful not to bite myself.
That sounds like an allergic reaction.
No, I'm not. They're delicious.
I'm not a medic or anything. I am the party healer, technically. But it does sound like you might have some kind of problems there that you might want to try to think about.
Is my audio low? I can adjust it. I went back and heard my stuff before. It was kind of low. So.
I am not reading the chat, so
I'm reading the chat.
No idea.
Sounds good on mobile. Hi Tater. Hi Brittany.
Hello.
Britmix Studios has a new badge, as she is the artist of the thing. I was told about that by Tater, so I added it to her thing.
There's artist badges now?
Yeah,
That's cool.
good thing we have an artist. And then two other
But
people who think
is the
they're
audio
good.
is the audio me? Because like I am kind of far away from my microphone, but like usually it's not bad. But
I think I might. I've listened to the thing before, and I was kind of low the last time I listened to myself.
yeah.
Well, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm casually making it through. Trying not to stress about whether or not I'm going to be in bear form or just regular Arthur form for most of the fights, but I feel like we do need some help with some tanking, so I'm trying to get myself accustomed to that.
It's like free hit points. I look at it, the hit point value is immense, so
Yeah, I just don't want you getting beat up the whole time. You know, like that. It makes me more nervous when you get beat up the whole time and nobody else is taking any other hits. Because, like, yes, you're a barbarian, you have everything, well, almost everything. But like, eventually those halves do add up, and I'm like, oh no, I can't heal enough to bring us all back to where she really needs to be.
if I got HP, I'm good. Maybe someone's like, oh, look at those numbers. Those are dropping fast. Just like teeing off against the skeletal giant. Like,
Yeah,
let's see how long.
That was the fight that I got really nervous because I was like, oh no. I think it's all down to like, I was like 11 hit points, and even for like Azal, that's 22 hit points. But I was like, oh no. Azal has never been this low.
I was in not since I got up past 60. I got down to the teens before. And I got down to the single digits before. That's when it really gets Kilbo was messaging me on Discord during that fight. He's like, hey, you need me to like do something? It's like, nah, give me another round. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I think that was the fight that I was trying to get over to you, and you moved away, and I was like, you dumb bitch.
I got this tibia right where I want it.
I was like, I hate you.
Just hack the bone. Yeah, it's been fun. You're a nice take. We've been over the stats for it. You take up a lot of damage because you also take up a lot of space. That means you can be attacked from more areas, which we saw in the fight against the horde of undead underneath the thing, where you were getting attacked by like 4 things because you're
and getting hit by pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Actually, I managed to miss a lot of things whiffed on me, to be honest. Honestly, the only reason why I whiffed though is because Caleb cast haste, and it was just right on the precipice of like, oh, this is enough AC for me to not take that damage.
But yeah.
Shout out to Caleb if you ever watch this.
I always tell him like, Kilmo, you know that's only going to work maybe one more time before the DM's going to tee off on you with some random creature from a false wall, and you just get ganked.
Or just the casual counter spell, you know, like just he's going to start making it a point to not have like spells work or anti-magic field or silence, you know, just the stuff to interrupt any kind of magic caster, you know.
He's just gonna, oh look, you're hasted, dispel magic, like, well,
and then immediately drop me down for a minute. Like, I'm like, I am out of the fight the whole time. There's nothing else we can do. Which we probably shouldn't have said out loud, because if the DM does go back and look at this now, he's going to be like, oh, I could have been doing that the whole time.
Any DM worth their salt knows haste is an issue.
So again, if the DM is a safe space, I'm not trying to get cussed out right now.
Attack us. Anyway, we got a few questions coming in. Some of them are the ones I had written down anyway, because we are getting close to a precipice. We'll go with the first question that was sent in by Volred of the chat. It was predictions on what will happen next. I'm guessing this is probably referring to the immediate future, because even the DM doesn't know what the fuck we're going to do anything past 3 sessions.
I think that's fair. Well, I mean, we're going to find a necromancer. That's what I think is going to happen. We're going to walk into this big room. The female that we encountered in the last, well, we didn't encounter them. But the female that we heard in the last group room, I would assume is probably the necromancer that we're trying to deal with, being that she was ordering around the other person that was in the room that just so happened to kill. So I think we're going to find a necromancer. And I'm kind of nervous because every time I've been in bear form, they have sapped part of my health away. And so I'm not sure how effective that's going to be long term, but it does make me very nervous constantly. So we'll see how that goes.
There's some shade in the chat. I said 3 sessions ahead. Like, Eric can't count that high.
Oh, wow.
You could say that, Tater. You're not in the game. We can't say
No, I mean, it's a safe space. He did count to 42 whenever he critted his own monster with his paladin. So I feel like he's around that area in which 3 is logical there.
The old saying is that the DM can't count. That was back in high school.
Well, okay. To be fair, back in high school when we were playing, there was a lot of misread numbers and a lot of very fudged rolls.
Those numbers don't matter.
Exactly. So we'll give him credit for that now. But just moving forward, we probably should.
As for my prediction, I think Necromancer. I was going over some thoughts of what this possibly could be based out of my metagaming knowledge. But of course, I was like, he's almost not allowed to know this. Can't do this. So I was like, how much knowledge can she figure it out? Because the Necromancer Wizard subclass has an ability to permanently control undead, so an undead would stay under their control permanently if they pass the check for it. So like if you could control an undead that could also make undead, that would mean you can constantly have an army going. But that's base rules for it. Like a DM could just fiat anything they want. So
yeah, so like liches and wraiths.
Yeah, if you make... I don't know if wraiths can make undead. I know ghouls can. I think whites can. I did not look up
Whites can. That's what I meant, not wraiths. Whites.
So
whites.
If you permanently make a white, that white can now make other undead, and that's how you get an army.
It's fair.
That's what I saw the white. I was like, fuck.
That's fair. Yeah, because we did kill the white. Yeah, that could be really ugly. Really quick, especially since we're in the middle of a castle that I would presume is full of undead, and we just so happen to not run into a lot of undead at this point in time. There's a very good likely chance that we're going to get swarmed.
I wonder where all these undead are getting like the pickaxes and shit.
That is also very well. I mean, there was a war, and depending on like if civilians were involved, sometimes civilians just pick up whatever they have. It could be pitchforks, it could be pickaxes, it could be a shovel. You know, if a lot of people died in the general area, there could be a lot of like just random improvised weapons out there that you could just have a whole smorgasbord of. So
I'm more worried about like how quickly they'll deteriorate over constant use, so you have no way of replenishing them. Because no one can get into this mountainous area. So how are you constantly mining if it wears out? But like, magic.
Yeah, that's true.
A wizard.
I mean, because apparently all of the equipment of the things that we kill just kind of deteriorates or fades out. So there might be some kind of magical property there that just, it's fabric.
When you load up all the undead with diamond pickaxes and shovels from Minecraft. That's fine. It's made of diamond. Fuck. Then I was going over the idea over whether or not... What? Tater gifted a sub. Way to go, Tater. Whoever Inferno Dragon 808 is.
Well, thank you for gifting the sub, and thank you for whoever is gifted the sub. Thank you for watching the channel.
I saw that pop up. I was like, I don't recognize that alert. That's our sub alert. But I was going over the idea of why are they digging? So I don't think we're facing the boss lich thing. I think we're facing a necromancer looking for that thing. So.
Oh, that's fair. So you think it's somebody trying to raise the big bad or the big boss, the guy that died a long time ago, so that way they could
Or they're looking
It's
for
gonna
something that boss had that's under here. That's why they're digging all these new tunnels.
Or like the Hand of Vecna?
Oh god. Yeah, introduce that at level 6.
You know,
I'm
doesn't
gonna
mean
use
that they
it.
can use it. Doesn't mean that they can use it. It just may be that it's, oh, hey, it's knowledge in the game that it's here.
I'll chop off the hand and put it on there. Hell yeah.
That's funny.
Let's go.
You better give that to Caleb so that way Homeboy, his little figment of his imagination.
Let's give him as many weird ass powerful. He gets all this magic shit. Get all these scrolls and stuff and magic books for this game.
An ash staff. That's magical.
That's
There's magical shit. I have magical boots that leave chicken tracks behind. So, like, he doesn't just get all the magical stuff.
right. But we go by spells. We're giving him probably at least 20,000 gold worth of items already.
That's fair. He plays a utility wizard, and he does a good job at the utility that he does. So sometimes it's valuable to have him do it.
I was jealous.
I mean, and Eric hasn't introduced any druid scrolls, so it's not like anything I could do to help out with that. And then even Gander wasn't able to use like 2 of the scrolls. So like, who else is gonna get it?
If I recall, if my really good scrolls are correct, anyone can cast it if the spell is on their list. So you could use it to spell a magic scroll. Because the druid has it on their list.
Do you really want Arthur to use it? Oh, okay, thank you. That's really where we're getting back to. It's like you don't want Arthur. Arthur can't read the scroll to begin with. So what am I going to do with that scroll?
You read it, it disappears. Like, I don't know if it worked or if it
What
failed.
happened here?
I don't know what I was focusing on. I was focusing on the scroll a lot. Did I just dispel the scroll with dispel? Huh.
It's very likely.
Shit.
It's very likely to happen.
Well, that's my thoughts on what's possibly coming up. And I did go back. I have 1 rage left. Because I would have been real fucking useless in the last fight.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, okay, well, I do have another wild shape, but I don't know how far that's going to get us in tanking if I'm the only person tanking and it's not taking
I was like, oh, I lost like half of my abilities without rage. I was thinking, no, I lost all of my abilities without rage.
Yeah, I thought that too whenever you said that. I was like, what does Izal do without rage? And I was like, have a armory of weapons, but that's
I'm a fighter. That's what I am. I'm just a fighter with more hit points.
Basically.
But yeah, that's still pretty good. She's doing her best.
That must have been.
On to the question that I had prepared, but also got questioned or asked by the chat. Once again, almost 1 year in, how do we all feel about the campaign? Thoughts?
I think it's good. I think we're progressing along. This is definitely the slowest campaign I've been in, which is fine and nothing wrong with that. I will say I feel like we lack a sense of direction. And I think because we went into this campaign saying, oh, we just kind of want it to be freeform and all this other good stuff, we don't really have any motivation to do anything crazy. The DM always says, oh, well, you guys just keep backing out of shit, not going to fighting stuff. I was like, well, we have the option to. It's not like we're being forced to go and fight these things.
Free flow our way out of the situation.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna fight a rock. Like, what the hell am I gonna do with a rock? Like, what if that thing is going to kill me in 1 swoop? Why would I do that? So I will say that I enjoyed the game, but I wish that there was like a overarching quest or
something to latch on to.
Yeah, I mean, like, we can go off and do side quests all we want, but there's no major plot point right now, and I don't know if that Eric has something built in or if he's just waiting for us to hit a certain mark, or a certain part of all of these quests that we just keep avoiding may lead to like a major plot point, but we just never do anything with any of them, so we never get there. But I do wish that we had like a little more guidance on what we're supposed to be doing as a group. But again, I say all of that just to say that I'm enjoying the game as a whole. There's some things that I need to work out on my own, but for the most part, I'm enjoying the game.
I don't know if we're going slower or faster than last campaign. Because it all was like a 3-year campaign, but like we didn't level very fast at all. Like the first several levels, and then that middle range of like 5 to 9 were pretty quick. Then it slowed down again at the end.
Well, I came in at like
3.
So like, so I felt like a lot of the really slow progression towards the middle of it on that last campaign. You were right. I think that 4 and 5 were pretty quick, but then after that, it just felt like, oh, okay, well, we're literally just sitting at this level for forever, which again is fine, and that's how most classic D&D games are ran. But I think we were a little spoiled on how fast a lot of the leveling was on previous games.
Oh, yeah, especially our other campaigns that we're in. Some of them level very fast. Some of them, not so much.
Yeah, it's true. Sitting at like a level... I don't think I have a level 5 character anymore in any of my campaigns at this point. I think everybody is at least level 6 and above.
With Taters, we're at level 7. With mine,
Yeah.
you guys are at 13?
13?
13 or 12?
Is it 13?
Or 12. It's definitely up to 12 at least. I think it's 12 because of an ASI boost that I recently remember. That's 12. But
yeah,
like,
it's 12.
my game's been going on for like 2 years total.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then Tater's campaign is level 7.
Yeah.
And then even Momod's campaign was level 13 when we stopped.
That campaign was a total of like 4 months. We got to level 13.
That was a fast level.
That was a speed run. I was all about that shit. Hell yeah.
A lot of fun. But yeah, so.
See if I could find some rich person to donate a bunch of money to trick Eric into giving us a level.
If you are out there watching,
We need a sugar daddy for levels, babies.
Our DM will happily be bribed. So if you would like to contribute, you can definitely do so. I can see on your screen, Tater is bringing up Ariana. Okay, that's a Pokemon D&D game.
A little different.
I feel like that's a completely different genre. And to be fair, like I don't know how fast we progressed in that game. So I think for the amount of time that we're talking and hanging out and actually doing in that game, I think we're pretty speedy on the levels.
Rab's like, if I have to give Jace money, he better put out. Well, technically, you don't give me the money.
It's fair.
We almost have enough for a pizza party. Ooh,
Woo!
pizza party.
Wait, pizza party enough to send Kilmo?
We might order a pizza to get delivered to his house in Alabama.
Love that. Okay, cool.
He has to zoom in. He's not allowed to
Completely
enjoy it by
inclusive.
himself. I have things to do. No, this is a group party.
Great.
Okay, on to another question. I have enjoyed this campaign so far. I think it's really fun. We're not really... Like I said with the questions with Eric last week, I feel like everyone in our party is like acts of, this is my first party as far as the character goes, so none of us know how to do this. And some of us don't know how to do this, so it's even more fun.
Yeah, there are 2 of us that are, well, 1.5 of us that are technically learning how to play in a big campaign. We're still waiting for the other half to kick in at this point in time, but it's a learning environment, and they're picking up quick. So I'm excited to engage and learn more about their characters and keep the game going.
On to another question. Question for Arthur: what do you think about disrespecting gods?
I hate it. Just as a whole, the fact that we've literally met 2 gods, from Arthur's perspective is like, why would we fuck around and find out when we already know that these gods exist? Like, pushing the statue over was like a big no-no for Arthur. He was like, bro, I got cried on by a god, and then one almost queefed on me, and I'm just like, what am I supposed to be doing with you guys over here pushing down a freaking large ass statue in the place of a necromancer that is actively worshiping and actively like participating in all of these magics. I was like, oh, okay, so this is what we're doing today. This is how we're going to function today. This is great. These are the decisions that we've made. And
What if I told you I've secretly been defacing this place the entire time?
I hate it.
I'm related to gods, and I follow other gods of like life and death. Like Kelder was literally a follower of the balance of life and death, and had that whole spiel. This is some southern boondocks level. I'm one of 5 gods that are all gods of death. Like you're equivalent of like a level 20 spellcaster. I'm not fucking afraid of you.
So you say that, but like a god of death is still a god of death, regardless of how you do it. And then 1 of 5. Well, what happens if it's the Raven Queen? Like Nock would have been.
She's not one of them.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on.
This is like a separate
Regional.
level, a regional god of death, and then 1 of 5 regional gods of death that are down here.
You should tell that to all of the Egyptian pantheon, all of the Norse gods and stuff that everybody hangs out and talks about all the time and worships. Regional, they are still regional, but they are powerful as shit.
So like a god of a river.
So is Oda.
She's not a god of a river. She's a god of a nice area. That's why I can disrespect them.
I hate it. To answer the question is I don't like it. I think as a character who is learning to worship gods and learning to understand his druid gods, the act of defiling or disrespecting the god is just a little disrespectful and not the wisest thing to do. But then again, what party are we hanging out with? Like, let's be realistic. Wise is not the strong suit of this party, and neither is charisma.
That's hurting us probably, I think, more than wisdom is the lack of charisma in the party.
Yeah.
Talk to this person. Are you sure that's a good idea? Can we send them a letter?
You want us to talk to this person? I don't think you want us to talk to this person.
We could write them a mean letter. It'll look amazing between 2 of us.
Well, Arthur can.
I can too.
No, that Arthur can.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll both work on. I'll work on the letter arrangement. You work on the design of the letter.
Hey, I could do that.
We could write them a nice letter. We can't talk to them for shit though. But,
at all. At all.
And as far as like character, you're just getting into religion. He's all well versed in religion. That's why she didn't insult the other gods. She'll insult the shit out of the 1 of 5 dead gods. Fuck them.
Still a god. We're level like what? 6? We're level 6, and you're like, oh, it's like the effectiveness of a level 20 wizard. A level 20 wizard is going to fuck us up.
Yeah.
So, like, regardless, it doesn't sound like the smartest idea, but that, again, back to the point of this party is not the most intelligent.
What's that? Who's the country singer says you don't impress me much?
Shania Twain? Is that who
I
that
don't
is?
know.
That don't impress me much. Yeah, that one. I know that song, but I don't know if it's Shania Twain. Brit Mix.
So
I call you on that one on your country knowledge.
So you think you're a god, but have you got the touch? Fucking
touch. I immediately just slap something out of somebody and they would just die.
Rude. If we had a cleric like around us, I'd be way more brazen. I'd be like looking for death.
Looking for death? Yeah, we don't have a cleric.
We'll find a cleric buddy.
We don't have a cleric yet.
So YOLO respawn. Google said it was Shania Twain.
Oh, I got it right. Ooh, I don't listen to country music, and I know that's
I know that song.
A lot of people in Texas, but I don't listen to a lot of country music. So for me to know that, I'm impressed. And thank you for whoever confirmed that.
That was Rabjorn the Hung.
Thank you, Red.
And Brit Mix came in there with the Shania Twain. On to another question for both. Describe your character's perfect date.
Perfect date?
Yeah, that was from Volred, of course.
Okay, well, I'll let Izal go first because I have to think about this. Because I feel like Izal has thought about this.
Izal's been on many a dates.
a number of times. I'm gonna have to think about this.
Out of all the dates she's been on, none of them I would say have gone perfectly. Mostly because she's a bumbling idiot and has no social skills as far as that goes. But she's a hopeless romantic in that sense. So she would hope you would go out, find somebody you like. Probably her idea is going to a tavern where it's loud, there's noise to distract people. Just drink, talk to each other. Maybe get in a fight with someone who's getting a little too rambunctious, impress the person, and then retire for the evening. Something around that lines.
That's fair. If I'm gonna say if I had to pick the perfect date, I would say it would be April 25th because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. But no,
William Shatner.
Arthur's perfect date. I haven't had to think about this or anything. You know what? It would be with another druid. We would probably reincarnate or reimagine or redo or remake the Lady and the Tramp dinner date where they're eating like a plate of spaghetti under the moonlight because the circle of the moon druid. I would probably have like Roscoe and Carl in the back. And it would be that little cute little moment where like him and the other druid like eat the same piece of spaghetti and end up kissing. That would be my perfect Arthur day. Besides April 25th, because again, it's not too hot or too cold. It's great.
Tater Sep September 29th. I don't know. He put a random date in the chat.
Ooh. Love that.
Brit mixed with dates. Don't care for them. Not my favorite fruit at all.
That's funny.
On to another question. We've got a question for both. Do each of you have any hot takes you want to get off your chest?
I feel like that's a loaded question. And my answer to that is no. Nothing that I want to get off of my chest. So I think I'm good with that.
I think that if we had a cleric in the party, we would not be facing all these undead.
I think that's accurate. You got to play to the weakness of the party. I am just happy that all of us have some type of magical attack at this point because the first time we ran into undead, we did not. And so we have an opportunity to damage undead stuff now. But a cleric would definitely foil a lot of things that the DM has had planned. Also, I think that the DM started throwing more undead and zombie-like creatures at us because Caitlin was just putting a whole bunch of stuff to sleep. And you gotta find things that are immune to sleep.
Take it where you can get it, I suppose. Other hot take is, I really wish we got some more magic items. I know we just found some, but I think we had to work for those, which I'm fine with working for them. You got the beads.
My annul beads.
Yeah, the annul beads. Those are with one bead. I'd like to see 2 beads on there. That would have been nicer.
Yeah.
So you get a taste for the fire.
Yeah, and then you have to be very, very purposeful about the next time you use it because the first one could just be like a fuck up and just be like, oh shit. The second one you're like, oh, I know what this does. But I do think it is smart that the DM did not give that just all willy-nilly. So I didn't even know that it was going to be that. I just picked it up and was just like, oh, this would be fun to joke about. And I really thought Caitlin was just going to take it. So I was like, oh, so it's this, oh, you're letting me have it. Okay, great. Love that.
He would take it if he didn't just get something, though. If he didn't just get a bunch of scrolls, he probably would have taken it.
That's probably
Or
true.
if it had more beads, I bet he would have taken it.
That is probably also true. You probably don't want Arthur holding on to a lot of magical items, to be honest.
Yeah.
Explosive magical items.
Tries to throw a dart, throws a necklace instead. Oh, shit. I got a flask. My alchemy jug.
which is fun. But
I love the
but
other one.
do you have? Isn't there like a description on there that just says mayo?
It's got different runes on it, and each rune, pressing a different rune gives it that charge, and one says mayo on it. So it does like 2 gallons of mayo. I'm like, oh hell yeah! But something I found out, I don't think Eric's watching this, and he never rewatches these. The liquid you pour out of there does not like disappear after a certain amount of time. There are other items in there. There's a basic poison,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's acid. All those can be poured out and then stored and then sold.
Oh, so it's a money-making machine. Is there just general water and stuff in there too?
There's salt water and fresh water, and that way we have that. There's oil. There's wine. There's ale. So I mean, it's got options, but you can only use one per day. So like Roland has it in your guys' campaign, and he uses it for mayo
All the time.
because it's a dipping sauce.
He loves mayo, which is the weirdest thing to me. Just mayo. Not an aioli sauce or anything like that. Like just pure mayo. I always wanted. See, this is the way that my mind works. I always wanted like an ever-flowing What is it called? The flask of
Decanter
ever-flowing water.
of endless water.
There you go. Decanter of endless water with a druid with shape water. And like from a really tall height, you just freeze a 5-foot cube of water, and as it's like continuously flowing out, and then you just drop it on something, and just see how the damage works from there. So that's the thing that I think about. Like I'll be like, oh, I could wild shape into a bird, fly up real high with a decanter of endless water, then like go out of my wild shape form and just like drop ice bombs from like 50 feet, 50
Especially
to 60
since it
feet up.
falls, it'll be like elongated, so it's like a spike.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm like,
You guys are clever.
okay, cool. But
We had a decanter of endless water, and we sold it.
I know I didn't think about that until after we sold it, and I was like, dang, that could have been cool. But you know, it is what it is. We needed it. Didn't we sell it to get the acid? No, that was
No.
the
We just
Moon
sold
Touch-
it back to the university or whatever the fuck it was.
fair.
The city.
Well, we know it's there. We might just go pick it back up. You never know. Volred has learned to sneak and steal, so we might just get back to the university and just decide to find it again.
He only robs pimps.
Pimps and people of high power that he finds that are technically his equal.
Going to rob from you. Okay. What got us on to? Oh, we were talking about magic items. That was it. So what the fuck were we talking about? What was the question? Okay. Well, it's about 30 minutes in. Time for us to get to the game I have set aside for this one here. And I actually have 2 games set up. That'll probably take the rest of it. So unless you have a question from the chat, I will be playing some stupid ass games. This one's called Front Hand, Backhand.
Okay.
A few sessions ago, we talked about people's hands and what they're called.
I don't remember this. I don't even remember my
Exactly.
character's name.
So-
This is gonna be bad. Okay.
Do not look at your notes. Do not look
I'm
at
not.
Discord.
I'm not.
What is Arthur's left and right hand called? And I will be looking in the chat if they decide they want to give their best answer.
Yeah. I feel like it's like Dorothy and Betsy for some reason. Just because I was rattling off stuff. So I'm gonna go with that.
Dorothy and Betsy are correct.
Yes.
What is Izal's name for the hands?
I feel like you were the one that was like, oh, just left and right. But I would be wrong on that. My inclination says that you actually did give them some type of name. It was just a really dumb name.
That's rude.
It was like very obvious. I wouldn't say it was dumb. It was just like an obvious name, and I cannot remember for life. So, dang, this isn't even multiple choice. This is just like remember. It was Caleb the left and right. I don't know. You seem like a dominatrix. We're gonna go pain and pleasure.
Pain and pleasure.
Sure, let's do that.
It was.
I know that's not it.
Crime and punishment.
Crime and punishment. I was like, ooh, it was something like that.
They're right. They're stupid names, but like it was two words that go together. What is the name of Volred's left and right hand?
Scotch and cognac.
Incorrect.
I know.
They are called Name and Less.
I remember him talking about that afterwards too.
What is Caleb's left and right hand?
Left and right.
Incorrect. They are also called Name and Less.
Wait, no. Didn't we forcibly make that the
Yes,
name?
we always have to force Kilmo to do shit.
So like, but it was technically he was like, I don't know, left and right, and then we were like, no, it's Name and Less. And no, so I think I should get half points for that because I'm pretty sure he literally was not going to name his hands.
All right, we'll give you half a point for that one. What is Gander's?
Oh, it's the bed. Shit the bed. There you go. Shit the bed. That's.
You were right earlier on in this when you said someone said left and right. His is called left and right.
Left and right, motherfucker.
So you got 1.5 points.
That's okay. I'll take my 1.5. I got my hands names right, so I'm gonna run with that.
Well, we all know that we love making fun of Eric for all of his terrible spelling and weird ways of alliteration. So the next part's a spelling bee.
I'm not going to get this. Any of these. I think I have a success rate of like 3 of 35 names right now.
Well, there's a chance for a point and a half a point for both of these, because not only will I ask you to spell them, you will then have to tell me person, place, or thing.
Okay.
We'll start with Cassian.
Cassian. I'm going to go with KASSIAN.
That is incorrect, but I will, much like Wordle, I will tell you ASS is correct, and the N is correct.
So is that CASS? EAN?
That's incorrect. The C is now correct, though.
Cassian. So, but the I and the A were not right. I don't know why I did that. So it would have been.
The A was incorrect both times you said it.
Yeah. And the I was incorrect.
Yep.
And then there's no E or O.
You did not say O.
Oh, sorry. There was no E in there.
Correct. You currently have CASS blank N.
There's no E, no A, no I?
Not in that space.
But in Wordle, it at least tells you that there is a letter that is correct. It doesn't put it in the right space, but it will say, hey, there is a letter that's
None of those letters are correct.
I hate it. Cassian. Okay. CASSYON?
That is correct.
I hate Eric. So much. Okay, continue.
Person, place, or thing.
With a spelling like that, it has to be a person.
That is correct. Cassian Arbogast. I'm not going to ask you to spell the last name.
That's fine. So for chat, for those of you who are actually like watching and listening, this is the same kind of things that we do in the Discord. Like we will spout off like a random spelling for anything that sounds weird. Even the common names, because Eric likes to change the name spelling around a lot. And so we kind of just keep going until one of us gets it right, and then we all just celebrate the person who gets it right. So,
it's like Cassian. I hate it.
I'm glad that I have a mutual that feels the same way, because I hate it. All right, let's go.
Amanuensis.
You can't pronounce it. How am I supposed to spell it? That's not.
Amanuensis.
Amazes.
That's probably not how you pronounce it, but I'm doing it as phonetically as possible to help in some way.
Amazes.
Amenuensis.
Amenuesys.
A-M is correct. Next letter is incorrect. N-U is correct. E is also correct. And then there are 4 letters after that. There are S's in there.
Okay, so AM was correct. The next letter was wrong. The N U was correct. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. All right. A M A N U. You didn't say that the E was correct.
I did say the E was correct.
You did?
Yes.
Okay, so in U, E, and then there's 4 letters after this?
There are still 4 more letters.
S-I-U-S. A-M-A-N-U-E-S-I-U-S.
You have all the first part up to the E correct. There's then a letter that you did not get correct, then an S-I, and then another letter you did not get correct. So you are missing 2 letters.
All right, A-M-A-N-U-E, a letter that I got incorrect.
Yes.
S-I,
Yes.
and then another letter.
Yes.
Okay.
Amenuensis.
Amenuensis? Okay, A-M-A-N-U-E-N-S-I-S.
That is correct. Amenuensis. It is something that you need to tell me person, place, or thing now.
A thing?
A thing is correct. It is a spell.
Oh God, I've never even seen it. Like I feel like that. Oh, I hate that. Okay, continue.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Okay, keep going.
ENIAC.
I should know this. ENIAC. This is the thing that Volred kills all the time.
ENIAC.
You kill a lot of. So I'm going to tell you it's a thing. So I already know that's a thing, but it's A-N-T-I-A-K.
A-N is correct. There is an I. There's an A. There's a K. I-A-K is in the correct form. But
A-N, the T was wrong. I-A-K is in the correct form.
you're missing 1 letter.
Is it A-N-N-I-A-K?
That is correct. ENIAC. And you say person, place, or thing. You went with thing.
It's a thing, because it's a big ass goat deer thing that freaking Volred killed 3 of.
Unfortunately, that is incorrect.
What was the thing that Volred killed 3 of?
This is a place, the ENIAC Mountains. Volred's very fond of killing Adak.
Adak. Oh.
So it is a place, the ENIAC Mountains.
Okay, well. That's how much I was paying attention.
So you got a partial point. I don't know how I'm doing the points for spelling.
Yeah, I was like, 'cause if we're doing Wordle points, technically, as long as I get it within like,
It's like
5
4 tries.
tries,
These are
okay.
obviously harder than Wordle.
They are very difficult because Eric doesn't spell anything.
Uraca.
Uraca?
Yes, it is a 6-letter word.
Okay. U-R-R-A-K-A.
U-R-R-K-A.
U-R-R-A-K-A.
U-R-R-A-K-A. U-R-R-A-K-A. That is 6 letters. K-A is correct. There is an R. There is a U. U-R is in correct order. KA is in the correct order. There's a letter before the U, and there's a letter before the K.
I'm just trying to figure out how you do the ah sound without putting an A in front of the K. Because you're saying that it's KA at the end, but the A that I said before is not the correct spot, correct?
You said URR.
AKA.
Oh, well, that is correct.
Okay, so AKA is correct, which is the last three letters. So Uraca, I'm going to go with EURAKA.
That is correct. Now, person, place, or thing.
So we've had a person, we've had a person.
We've had a place, and we've had a thing.
How many of these do we have, sir?
There's a long list. I'm not going to do all of them.
Okay. I want to say it's a place.
This is a bit of a twofer, because you could have guessed two, and I would have given it to you either way. This is the Temple of Uraca. It is technically a place and a thing. So you got it either way. As long as you didn't say person. But
was that the place that we went to for the person?
Yes.
What's his name? Yeah. I'm obviously bad with names. I give people nicknames and then forget what their nicknames are. But the guy who's trying to atone for himself, and we went to that one temple and met the god where
hot
basically,
stuff.
yeah,
Lady hot stuff.
It's all.
She's a god, okay? Shoot for the stars, people. Tater's like, I love her in My Hero Academia.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we have two more that we'll do.
Okay.
Second one should be easy for one of the categories. Lyceum. Question is how you spell it.
Lyceum. I should know how to spell this because Eric puts a Lyceum in like every single one of his games, but I've never had to write it down. Lyceum.
It is 6 letters.
I would have done it wrong because I would have already guessed for 7. Lyceum. L. It's because it's weird. I want to say LYSIUM.
LY is correct.
Okay.
UM is correct.
LYCEUM?
That is correct. In 2 guesses, you got it. Person, place, or thing?
Place.
I'll also go with thing if you'd like. The chat, Brittany's like, I want to spell one way, but I know that's not right.
So bad.
Time for the last one. This one's a bit tricky.
These were all tricky. Okay, whatever.
Tyron.
What?
Tyron. It is 5 letters.
It's 5 letters?
Yes.
Thing is like there's 3 phonetic ways to do like the last 3 letters. So I'm gonna go with PY. It's fucking Eric. PYR. Which red did he go with? Ian. PYR Ian.
The P is correct. The R is correct. The N is correct.
PIR? Because Eric, YN? PYR, PIRYN.
The I is correct.
So you said the I is correct. PIR. I said E, and then you said that the E is incorrect, and the Y is incorrect. So Pirin?
That is also incorrect.
I hate it. Pyron?
Piron is correct.
I just want to stomp on him.
No, the fun part.
Stupid.
Eric did not spell this correctly the first time he put it in the chat. On March 22nd, he spelled it Piran, and then months later spelled it Piron, and then spelled it out how it's done phonetically. So he technically got his own spelling wrong. So, although you did not get it right until the very end, because you did not put the AN in any of them.
No, at all.
Now, person, place, or thing.
Pirate. That sounds like a person, but hold on. Trying to recall. I don't think it's a place that we visited, but we've talked about a lot of places. I'm gonna go with a person.
It is a person, Master Pyron.
Okay.
He's the person we're literally working for right now.
Yeah, the guy that wants us to find like the bone, the rib cage of a demon, and all that other good stuff.
Yeah.
That person.
Yeah.
Again, I need to really not make up fake names for people that we meet, because I'm not going to remember the regular names, because that's what happens. But cool. I mean, I hate the spelling of his name, and when Arthur learns how to read, he's going to clown the shit out of that man.
Your name is dumb.
But yeah.
So that is. I have other words on here that are for spelling, but those are the ones. These were all spelled in the chat by Eric. One of them was even spelled incorrectly the first time. So I was going to do a joke to guess who also spelled them correctly, because occasionally some of us get lucky. But...
Okay. Again, like how am I supposed? You know what? If you have a couple of those, I will guess. I will take at least one, and I will guess to see who got that one right.
This is one that I didn't ask you to spell. Alashal.
Who got that one correct? To be fair, I think Red statistically has the best chances of getting it correct, followed by you, and then I'm third on getting some of those right. So I'm going to say Red was the person who got that one correct.
It was Lauren.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do I get a bonus point for that one?
Yeah, I have no idea how many you have.
I know.
Much like the first episode, of course, don't fucking matter. I don't keep track of this shit. I quizzed you about boats.
And it's been a while. We've only been on 3 boats since then. 4. 3.
I think it's 4.
Okay, if we're counting like the session 0, it's
count
4.
Starting boat.
Okay, so I would say 4 then. If we're counting session 0.
Well, that is all the stupid-ass questions that I had set up for you. I have other things I hear to spell, like Auchenfirth. But...
Wait, A-U-C-H-E-N...
Well, C-H, not H-E.
Well, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
And F-Y-R-T-H?
That is correct, Auchenfirth. You spelled Auchenfirth correct, arguably one of the hardest to spell the entire things. As your reward, please roll a D percentile.
Oh, okay, I'm going to roll that on my die. A D percentile.
Let's see if we can get all his hair to fall out.
What number is that?
It's one of them. We rolled it before.
Oh, we've rolled it before, though?
Yeah, I think Volrid rolled it last time he saw. The rat did.
That is a 48.
48, a unicorn. Oh, we got this before. 48 is a unicorn controlled by the DM, appears within a space within 5 feet of you, that disappears a minute later. So we need to kill it. Take its horn.
Oh, yeah, because we need to get the horn of the unicorn.
Sweet unicorn horn.
Wait. Oh, no, I have to have at least an hour with the creature to be able to turn the things longer than just a minute.
turn into a hippopotamus?
No, I think the CR rating on that is a little too high for me right now.
Hippo.
But if you give me some time, I can study it, and then whenever it's time for me to be able to change into it, I can. Just need an hour.
Rav's all excited. He said that's his number, 48. Well, this was fun. I think we got a lot covered in this one.
We did. We went through a lot. It was good. And the game was fun. In the safe space, when it comes to spelling, fuck Eric. Because it's always fun when you get it right, but when you just misspell something that's like 3 letters, it's a little frustrating.
Spell Bob. Start sweating. Like, how is this different?
Key and Pill skit where he's just sweating profusely.
Where's my web browser history? Oh, well, alright, well, thank you all for coming. I really have to go. I hope you all like watching this really crappy show. So please like, follow, and subscribe is what I'm supposed to say. And as always, see you next Tuesday. Good night, everyone. Good night, Bergen, Flugen, Bergen, Flammenwolf.
Bye-bye.
Don't shoot fire on fire dogs. Bye.
Walking hand in hand on the ocean floor, down deep we wander. Louder we sing, no there is no cure in this together. I don't wanna tell you that it's not real. Nothing is a fairy tale. Everything about you is so one, really won't be pretty when it ends. Now how could I leave with your sweet love on me? Yeah. Something about you always makes it harder. When you got my lipstick on your white shirt collar. Now I only see you. Hearts and letters carved into the shore. We'll never grow old.